Ola has taught us quite a lot if you've been here. Managing your expectation, emotional intelligence, how to control our emotions. Back in the day, if I'm doing this show, the way I will come for that freeze.
Man of prestige. Ha! Now this guy win. Now you win. Now you win today. Now you win. Now you win. I agree. Man of prestige. Now man you be.
I'm sure some people will be jealous now the way I talk about Ola, but I have learned a lot from him. That's why I keep telling you to follow him. If you don't follow Man of Prestige, now you know.
Yeah, we find her, the beautiful girl we've been missing. We wanna have her kissing. We find her, now we in love. Say Gosso, the remix.
DMB, Tux Bites, remix.
Now if I had to lose you like a bad phone connection, I'd change my game to get a better reception. Sit back, let's start this interaction. Don't fight the feelings, just a chain reaction. Your heart won't give it the wrong instructions. Like my GPS, yes, I got the right direction. We gotta merge together like a road intersection. Last stop is gonna be my love and affection. I ain't like the mother dudes, they wanna call you shorty, but I'ma call you a beautiful girl. I took your picture home, my mama saw it, she's a very, very beautiful girl. I wanna put you in my video, cause you're so beautiful. You're a beautiful girl. So when you hear us in your radio, turn up your stereo. It's beautiful girl.
Gotta find a shorty, what's worth of a lady. It's nice, but maybe doesn't look like 40. It's taking a little time. I wasn't seeing no signs, any traces of my baby. Who's gonna be my baby? But I thought I'm gonna take my time. Within took a long fine eye. I saw a shorty passing by. She's got this very pretty smile. He was right at the pen station. I tried to make a conversation, holding her arms, feeling so charmed. I felt the sensation. It's been a while that I've been trying to find a beautiful girl. Now I realize I found me a beautiful girl. She's a model, she's so fine. I just wanna take it by. Beautiful girl. Sparkling eyes are killing her tight. I found me a beautiful girl.
Body me LP, oh yeah, my wish came true when I saw you, girl. God must have blessed me with your beauty, girl. Looking so right from your head to your toe, shaped like a cocoa bottle with a smile of a queen. My queen to be, you my destiny. Got a body of a goddess with your beauty, I'm impressed and I'm never in distress. Come on over and be mine. Been searching for a man and now all the cats keep looking to mine. With a sexy walk and a sexy talk, she must be from a planet called the sexy world. I know I ain't tripping, better yet I'm thinking put a ring on the finger, we look good together. Take your place in my heart with your beauty, I'ma say that I'll never turn away. Who would think I'm in love?
Such the way she smiles at me just really makes me weak. The way she speaks to me just really make me go so weak. Keep staring in her eyebrows, all I kept on saying is wow. If you touch as a breeze at night, all I really want in my life. Oh yeah, it's been a while that I've been trying to find a beautiful girl. Fine brown eyes, I found me a beautiful girl. She's my model, she's so fine. I just wanna take it. Beautiful girl, sparkling eyes, killing tight. I found me a beautiful girl. Yeah, beautiful girl. One beautiful girl, yeah. Beautiful girl.
Damn. Money. You seen her? Hot Ice. Have you seen her? LP. Have you seen her? I'm gonna go over to Tux Bites. I know you've probably seen her. He has a lot of beautiful girls with him. Tux, it's DMB, baby. Look.
Beautiful.
I look for a while, but I can't seem to find a beautiful girl so I can make her mine. Time after time, I've been searching for a while, but every girl I meet never seems worthwhile.
What can I do? I pray to God for an answer. I feel pains in my heart like cancer. And when I find her, I'm gonna romance her. Lace up with presents and gifts. Call me Santa. Claus, I make a heartbeat pause. That's my girl, homeboy, not yours. The girl of my dreams, she's more than I ever thought. Show me Aston Kutcher, I think I'm getting punked. She's what I really want, so I'ma go get her. Since I'm a go getter, you know I'm gon' get her. And I will give her the world. Anything for my beautiful girl.
Psych. Ooh, it's been a while that I've been trying to find a beautiful girl. Fine, brown eyes. I found me a beautiful girl. She's my model, she's so fine. I just wanna take it beautiful girl. Sparkling night, killing time. I found a beautiful girl.
Girl, it's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.
Ola has taught us quite a lot if you've been here. Managing your expectation, emotional intelligence, how to control our emotions. Back in the day, if I'm doing this show, the way I will come for Daddy Fritz.
Man of prestige. Ha! Now this guy win. Now you win. Now you win today. Now you win. I agree. Man of prestige. Now man you be.
I'm sure some people will be jealous now the way I talk about Ola. But I have learned a lot from him. That's why I keep telling you to follow him. If you don't follow Man of Prestige, now you know.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Good to see you. All right, let's see. How's everybody doing? We're going to continue the conversation today. How's everybody doing? Good? Let me make sure my audio is good on my end. I think so. Yeah, I think so. I think we're good. How's everybody doing? Good? Yeah. This conversation, there's some updates. We're going to continue the Mobad conversation today. RIP Mobad. There's some updates, some interesting updates. So I can see that it's starting to slow down, and we're going to see more and more slowdown. It is what it is. Sadly, we're going to see more and more slowdown. You know how it goes. Life continues, right? Anyway, that's Mobad. We're going to talk about Mobad 1996 to forever. This gentleman, as I discover more and more every day, it's becoming clearer and clearer that it wasn't exactly an upcoming artist. It was just a very, very bad practice, a very bad culture of the mob mentality, blacklisting people, making calls, arresting people random willy-nilly, people abusing power. There's a culture of that in Nigeria, and honestly, Nigerians can't cap. Okay, like I know it's easy right now, but yeah, stop the cap.
Stop the cap.
But yeah, welcome back. Good to see everybody. Hit that like button as you're coming in. Hit that like button. We do have some conversations to have today. Yes, we will be covering Mobad in a little bit here, but we've got some few things that we want to cover. I want to do some quick business, house rules. Welcome to Men of Prestige family. Good to see you. All right, and shout out to all my channel sponsors: Richie, Life with Natu, Adesua, Film Girl, Tima, Show Mama, Gorex Corner, D Love. I appreciate all of Una, and thank you to all the supporters and all the sponsors in the last few days. Shout out to Film Girl. Shout out to Chinye. Shout out to Lady Navor for the support. I'm looking for today's sponsor. So let's find today's sponsor. Who's going to sponsor today's show? No matter how little, your donations go a long way. And thank you again. This is Man of Prestige. My name is Ola. I'm coming to you live from my Empire Pro Studios. Basically, we talk about relationship from a, self, power, social, seduction, attraction, emotional intelligence standpoint. Okay, we basically focus on the things that you might still have a chance that you can control, right? And we help you forget about, disregard the things you can't control. Things like blame, fault, whose fault is it, whose blame is it, who should we share this blame to? As a matter of fact, particularly I discourage you from giving away your problems, because your problems are your problems. They are like your shadow. They follow you everywhere you go, and every time you attempt to give it away, it's worse, because you're trying to pretend like you're not inside of reality, and you are. Okay, you can download the books for free, one of them for free at loveandprestige.com, and you can get on the waiting list for the second one. We do have a brand new book coming out. It's called The Number One Red Flag. Wouldn't you want to know what the number one red flag is? It's how many chapters in this book? A total of about 14, I think. Yeah. When you include introduction and conclusion chapter, it's about 14 chapters. So I'm excited to share this with you starting December 30th. All right, so please be on the lookout. But you can go on the waiting list right now by simply going to loveandprestige.com and signing up. You can download the books right away. You can download one of the books right away. To Get My Marriage Back, the original one that we wrote 5 years ago. You can download that right away, and you can also you'll be signed up instantly, registered for a free masterclass, okay, on modern marriages. It doesn't matter what phase you're in. You can be in the single phase, married phase, complicated phase, divorce phase, trying to get back in the market phase, all of that, right? You can get into all of that, but you can register basically at loveandprestige.com. All right. Area, what's going on? Natu, how you day? Good to see you, my sister. Good to see you. All right, on the community page of the platform, I did post a link for WhatsApp channel. The advantages of WhatsApp channel is that people can't go into the info and start looking at your number and then try to scam you, okay? But it acts just like WhatsApp group. So if we can get 100 people in there, about 4,000 subscribers here, so you might watch this later on. There's at least 100 people will watch this later. The link is in the community page of YouTube. If I can get 100 people in there, sure, I'll use it. If not, I'll continue business as usual. I am not forcing anything. I'm staying focused on the calling, just so you know, okay? So when you catch it, when you're ready, I'll always be here for you, okay? But it's very important that you get notified when I go live, that you get notified when we drop videos, because these are the conversations that we can't finish in one day. Not 2 days, not 3 days. It's an ongoing thing, okay? Anyway, that's that. And yes, we do offer coaching. Starting in December, we will offer counseling sessions. So please make sure you're taking advantage of all the resources available right now. Every time another divorce news comes out, or somebody is trying to drag the other gender, I'll just look at them sideways, because I'll just be looking at them like this. And why is that our problem? Because there are resources available for you if you want to use them, okay? There are resources available. It's up to you to engage it or not. You can clearly see that there's separations and divorce all over the place. At some point, you have to look at yourself and say, it cannot necessarily be the fault of one particular gender. It has to be something about competence or competency, depending on which English version you want to use. Anyway, Area Natu, good to see you, Natu. I see you. So yeah, that's that for that. We're gonna have a conversation today. I've got a few videos that I want to react to before we get into Mobad. a few videos, and today I won't spend the whole hour on one, although that was worth it, right? The other question about can women love unconditionally, right? That was a very interesting part of yesterday's show. So make sure you go review that if you haven't seen that. And like I said, do me a favor, hit that like, share, subscribe. Let's get everybody in the room. Let's ping everybody into the room. Okay. Today there's some updates on the mobile stuff. We'll cover it. Okay. But for now, let's cover some house rules, some lessons, relationship, and stuff like that, and then I will be right back. All right, let's talk about Kirk Franklin really quickly. Let's talk about Kirk Franklin. I watched a video some few days ago. I sent it to my wife. I said, watch this video. Right? But she actually sent me another video. She sent me Dr. Shola's video with his wife. I haven't got a chance to watch that yet. I need to watch that too. It's been on my mind because of this video. I was like, oh, she sent me something, I need to watch it. But so yesterday we were in the middle of watching Sex Lives. It's called Sex Lives, right, on Netflix, right? The series, right? We were watching that together, and I think we're 2 episodes in, we're binge watching, right? And I forced her to stop. I said, no, we have to go. I need you to watch the Kirk Franklin thing right now. It's about 23 minutes or so like that, because I haven't had a video had that much effect on me in a very, very long time, right? Like I was just like, it's like, I wanted to say so. I usually would talk in the middle of watching shows together. I wanted to say something, but my voice, I felt like my voice was shaking. I would tell myself that, I was like, no, I'm not going to cry. And that will be the second time I'm watching it, right? And it had that much effect on me. What about Kirk Franklin? Well, Kirk Franklin is arguably the biggest gospel rock star in the world. I think so. Is there anybody else? I don't think so. Kirk Franklin is the Michael Jackson of gospel music. Anybody else? I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Okay. Do me a favor. Share. Something is happening here. I don't know what's going on. Help me share. Just hit on the share button and share this video out to everybody, to your community page on your own channel and stuff like that. I'll appreciate that if you do that. Thank you so much. Okay, so back to Kirk Franklin. So there's this he's releasing an album called The Father's Day. Okay, now I'm interested in the album, but I haven't really engaged in the full album in a long time. Maybe the most recent one is Ashake. Maybe even that one I didn't really fully listen to the whole thing, but I feel like I'm gonna have to listen to this one, right? And what is going on? Kirk Franklin in 2017, he thought he had buried his biological father. He's adopted by a 64-year-old woman who is a far what did he call it? A far relative, right? That woman was 64. He was 4 years old. But basically, he had a lot of struggles growing up. Homelessness, church boy, his own personal issues and stuff like that. He even had, I think he had his firstborn when he was in his 20s, early 20s, right? Outside of wedlock. And he has trouble with that boy today. We've covered that story here before in the past. So Kirk Franklin is 53 years old. And in 2017, some man, I'm not sure if it's the mother that told him that's your father or something like that. Some man passed away on his, lost battle to cancer or something like that. And he flew there. That person was losing their life. He thought it was his father, his biological father, and that person went and passed away. And he thought that was his father. And in recent times, basically, there was a rumor, I guess, in their local, in some local church in the neighborhood that he grew up in. Well, some family members in the church where his auntie attends, but a lot of people from his mother, his biological mother's childhood, goes to that church. All right. Correct me if I'm saying anything wrong, by the way, if you watched the show with me, because I did post it into the group yesterday for everyone to go watch. But anyway, so the auntie, the church that the auntie goes to, some of the childhood friend. Now, the auntie, this is biological auntie. So he knows his biological mother. It's just that they never had a relationship. The only thing he's remembered his life has always been adopted. That's all he remembers. But the biological mother will go and come maybe about twice a year throughout his childhood. And he has a lot of trauma around that. He has a lot of resentments towards feeling like he wasn't good enough, that he could go with her every single time. And he made an analogy to make it seem like it's actually better for people who are completely adopted and they don't know any family member, because it's a scar. The way he said is that it's a scar, and at least you know it's healed. It's a scar, you just know it's a thing. But for him, every time she comes back, that once or twice a year, it's like somebody's ripping the wound open every single time. And he's 53 years old now, and this is all he's known all his life. So anyway, there was some conversations that happened in that local church where his auntie attends, and then the auntie, her name was Sandra. Her name is Sandra. Auntie's husband, has a friend, and the friend was like, now Kirk Franklin, listen, I'm probably butchering it. You should go watch it yourself, okay? But I'm going to tell you anyway, because there's a lesson I want to extract out of this, okay? So, but his biological mother, the name is Deborah, okay? She's alive. She's well alive, okay? But she seems like an older lady, maybe in her 70s, maybe closing in on 80, maybe, who knows, right? So there's this young man, not young, he probably is in his 70s too, somewhere in the late 60s to 70s. And he was just having a conversation. He's a friend to Auntie's husband, right? And he was having a conversation, and he said, you know what? I dated Deborah when I was a little boy. That's all he said, right? He said little boy. He didn't say when I was a young man. He didn't say when I was in the 20s. He said, I dated Deborah when I was a little boy. That's all that was said. And then people started adding 1 + 1 together, and people, this is them together. Do you think they look alike? You tell me if you think they look alike, okay? And that's all that was said. And then the rumor started going around, and they're like, oh, you know what? This may be Kirk Franklin's father, And he said that all for a long time since he's become popular. He's been a rock star for the longest, since the early 90s, right? So he said there are many people that came forward that said, because he's always told the story that he doesn't know his father. There are many people that came along that would, say, hey, I could be your father, stuff like that. But, it was just usually a waste of time. But this time around, it's too close to the family, too close to the home, right? And then this, I called him young man earlier, the older one, right? He now did a swab of his own mouth and then sent it that they should give it to Kirk Franklin if he ever decides that he wants to know. And then, the curiosity kills the cat, obviously, right? He decided to do the test, and the test came back 99.9999999. Positively, he's the father, okay? So now, if you go watch the video yourself, trust me, you're getting only 1% of the effect that video is going to have on you, okay? From me narrating it, right? So he decided that, the first thing he said after he came back to the phone, because he was dancing around the room, like going back and forth when he heard the news. At the age of 53, you're finding out that somebody is biologically your father, scientifically proven, right? And then he came back to the phone and he was like, she lied to me again? Right? Okay, now here's the part that I missed earlier. Deborah, who is biological mother to Kirk Franklin, actually left a message and said, if you ever want to know anything, I would not lie to you. You can come to me. And they had not, before that voicemail, they had not spoken for 23 years. Okay? 23 years minus 53. 53 minus 23, what's that? 30 years. When he was 30 years old or thereabout was the last time he's spoken to his biological mother. So they don't have that relationship. They had never had that relationship before. So now that he has this result in his hand, he decided that he wanted to meet his auntie. It seems like he has some level-headed relationship with the auntie. Not so clean, but he wanted to meet the auntie, Sandra, and Deborah. And they met and then decided to share the results on the same day because he didn't want anybody sharing any news anywhere, right? And then he shared the results, and the woman said, I'm paraphrasing a little bit, she said, it's impossible. She said it's impossible. She said, she used a word. She said she swear on her grave, something like that. That is impossible. So now that calls for, you know what? Let's do a second test. They decided to do a second test. Came back with the same result. She insisted. Right? I'm going to say, that's all I'm going to say about that. Okay? Now, here's the thing. The lesson I wanted to get out of this. Some people are so broken. When you say some people are broken, right? When you say people are broken, when you say people have trauma and people have issues, okay? When you say people have issues that you can remotely attribute to some kind of mental condition, what they do is, even at the mildest level, they tell themselves a lie. They tell themselves a story. And the worst part about that is that they can actually believe that story. Right? And this story can be far, pragmatically speaking, can be so far from reality, even scientifically proven. And they've told themselves that story long enough, right? That they believe it. And it's very hard. The sad part about this is that you could literally see through, quite frankly, even if you look at this picture, you can see that the 7, 8, 9, 10, 12-year-old boy is missing something. And one of the things that he obviously was missing, a connection with a father. No fathers. It's not like, some people have had the privilege of having a father figure, maybe a stepfather who acted like a father. No father, nothing, right? Some people have had that privilege, but he didn't have any of that, right? So he was missing that. Another thing he was missing is a mother, right? He had the adopted, the what do you call them? The woman who adopted him, who was much older when she did, right? He had that. So we can say, okay, he had that gap was filled a little bit, right? But he cried out, he said, I need my mama. Right? And this woman could not give that moment to him. Now, we could say, hey, DNA, I can't trust those people in the labs. But if you look at the picture on the screen right now, okay, some lame people will say, oh, they could look alike, doesn't mean it's the father. No, you're stupid. Some people look alike. We know what people look alike. And we know when people look like a person, and especially if that's aligning together with a DNA test twice. The only pass I can give is that she's broken, and she just doesn't have what she can't give. She doesn't have it, she can't give it. She can't even give it to her own child. Remember yesterday we were talking about unconditional love, and some of us tried to say, okay, maybe motherly love is close to it, right? That's a biological mother. Okay. Her son was adopted by a far relative. He's still a relative. In Nigeria, to us, we don't call that adoption, by the way. That's like you live with a relative. You live with an auntie. Okay. How many? I can't tell you how many cousins lived with us growing up. Okay. So those people now, if they were Oyinbo people, they call them adopted, right? But usually they go back and have, because they go back to have relationship with their biological mother, if it's that close, right? But in America, it's a little different. Once you're adopted, you're adopted. If you don't have that relationship, you don't have it. Even the ones that have relationship with their mother, they're disrespectful to their mother directly. If they don't have the relationship, they will just tell you, like, we don't have relationship. It is what it is. We don't, right? So I'm looking at this, I'm like, Mental health, right? Mental health is something that we need to pay more attention to in general. We can't, it's a terrible excuse. You can't say, oh, these Oyibo people, all these women are bringing this thing. Mental health, emotional intelligence, it's very, very important. You need to understand these things, because everything else fall apart when you discount emotional intelligence. Okay, now this young man, I call him young man, he's 53 years old. This is just pain he's gonna have to take to his grave. It's just what it is. Okay. He's just gonna have to take this pain to the grave. I don't think she has it in her. She can't give what she doesn't have. It's an extremely good chance that she's coming from her own place of pain, right? Somebody's gonna look at that and say, "But Ola, you're giving her an out. She should be held accountable." Okay, good luck. Good luck holding her accountable. Okay. Now there's some speculations here and there. Did she cheat? She probably cheated. Did she have multiple relationships going on at the time? Yes. Was this little boy significantly younger than her at the time she got pregnant? Could she have been maybe 25 years old and I was a little boy, a 16-year-old? We don't know. It's possible. There's all kind of things possible. Why is it? What kind of shame has she been avoiding for 53 years? That you think you can hold her accountable and she will now suddenly. She could. But for what we have right now, she's not. She said over her dead body, she said she can swear. Even though there's 2 scientific reports showing that, did sperm jump at you or something? How did this man end up fathering your son? Scientifically spoken. Listen, go watch the video. Okay, the video is called Father's Day. Just search Father's Day Kurt Franklin on YouTube, and if you want, we can still talk about it later, But yeah, Princess, what's going on, Princess? Good to see you. D-Love, how far? How you doing? Yeah. So that's the Kurt Franklin story that I wanted to share with you. I do want you to go watch it. I felt goosebumps every single time of the 2 times that I watched it. Okay, it's just a very, very sad situation. And we're connected because we have, listen, I can't water down biological connection, right? Especially when that void was never filled, right? It's different when people don't have their biological parents in their life, but there's a stepfather, a stepmother that stepped in. That's different, okay? But when that person has been searching for 53 years, I don't know what to tell you. That's a lot. Pay attention to more attention to emotions. Okay, what that means is that you'll be able to prevent having your emotions lead you in life decisions. It doesn't mean you let emotions lead you. It means the opposite. It means you are aware that emotions no be your mates. It's time to pay attention to something that most people don't pay attention. When you get triggered, when you get offended, when you get betrayed, right? You end up betraying other people. Potentially, you might end up betraying some of the people that you will hope you never have to betray. Okay? Sometimes you actually don't realize you're doing it. You're telling yourself these lies off of limited understanding of how life works. Every time you discount emotions, right, and you call it logic, right, you're discounting a significant variable in how we operate as human beings, right? And you effectively operate out of your emotions for the most part, right? And then you hurt people that you love the most, and potentially you hurt yourself. You remove yourself from the experience of life, right? All she needed to do is say, it's a day of shame for her. See how simple as that sounds? It's an extremely hard thing for her to do. Extremely easier said than done, right? She can't do it because she's holding on to something She's holding on to whatever we don't know. She's holding on to something, and she's ready to, at this point, at least in time, to go to her grave with it. She told herself story is satisfying some kind of emotional need, and she would rather hurt everything else. I'm just letting you know. You know, you can think of it however way you want to think of it, but that's all I have about that. I'll be right back. All right, welcome back. Let me see here. Let's remove Franklin from the screen. I do have another video I want to share with you. Let me see here. 5 things you should never do for a woman. So I was like, hey, right? 5 things. Somebody decided to share, an auntie on TikTok decided to share something with us. 5 things we should never. But let me find that video really quickly, because this one is going to be an interesting one. I promise. Let me find that video real quick. 5 things you should never share with a woman. All right, you ready? Let's get to it.
You never do for a woman. Number 1, never see a woman through school. Most men that even do these things are illiterate. You never see yourself through school finish, they go sponsor woman. Woman will go still later come break your heart. Instead of sponsoring that girl in school, my dear, find one of your sisters, cousin, even distant relatives, send her to school. These are family, they will forever remain thankful to you. But you see women, they will dump you when they see someone who is better than you. This thing doesn't end well for most men, so don't even bother taking such risk. 2, fight another man for a woman. The moment they fight for a woman knows the person she wants to be with. So you're going to fight another man, you're just fooling yourself. You're just disgracing and humiliating yourself. Don't you ever fight another man because you want to keep a woman. That's an unwise thing to do. 3, compromise your needs for her. I don't see any reason why you should be putting a woman's needs before yours when you're not married to her. Like, you have something important doing and she'll call you and tell you she needs to buy a hair, and you send her the money instead of dealing with your own problem first. Don't do that for any woman. Your needs should always come first, because I bet you if she's in that position, she would not give a shit about you. So learn to put yourself first. 4, disrespect your family members or even your friends because of a woman. Some of you, the things you could do for a woman, they amaze me. I would wonder, which kind of man be this? See, there are some limits you can go for a woman, but when it comes to family, when it comes to friends, don't disrespect them because you want to keep a woman. 5, never commit a crime for a woman. I see how most guys these days, they go into fraud, they do all manner of things because they want to keep a woman. Dear kings, if you can't maintain the kind of lifestyle she wants, or if you can't give her the kind of lifestyle she wants, you let her go. Do not steal because you want to keep a woman. Do not discard your morals and values because you want a woman to stay with you. If you are caught doing any of these things just because you want to keep her, and you are given a jail term or something, let me tell you, that lady is going to move on like you never existed. She's going to leave you and leave your ass for good. So it's not even worth it. But if you still feel like you want to do any of these things because you want a woman to stay with you, then bro, you are wrong. Woman, they amaze me. I would wonder, which kind of man be this? See, there are some limits you can go for a woman, but when it comes to family, when it comes to friends, don't disrespect them because you want to keep a woman. 5, never commit a crime for a woman. I see how most guys these days, they go into fraud, they do all manner of things because they want to keep a woman. Dear kings, if you can't maintain the kind of lifestyle she wants, or if you can't give her the kind of lifestyle she wants, you let her go. Do not steal because you want to keep a woman. Do not discard your morals and values because you want a woman to stay.
All right, let's go through it. We've already finished it. She gave 5 things you should never do for a woman. Do you guys need a recap? Did you guys follow? Chiye said, Chiye, when did you come? I didn't even notice. Chiye, that's your first comment. She said, if family and friends are disrespecting the woman and he wants to set boundaries, in wahala. Every rat and cockroach are relationship advisors. Listen. Anyway, this is the number 1 thing she said. She said, never send a woman to school. Find your sister. Right? And never send. What do you guys think about that? Never send a woman to school. Find a sister or somebody if you need to find a place to spend money. What do you guys think about that? Never send a woman to school. Now, obviously, we have to assume she's talking about a romantic partner, girlfriend, fiance, or wife. We have to assume she's talking about that, right? I mean, that's the typical relationship you have with women as a man. So, ladies, we're talking about your sons. Would you give your sons this advice? Are these good advices? The first one said, never send a woman to school. Girlfriend, wife, or fiance. Right? Meaning pay money, pay school fees. That's what she's talking about. Let me see. They will say one or two things that make sense and talk trash for the rest. Yeah, about 80% is truth, right? Truth tellers, right? But the 20% is all it takes to destroy your life. That's it. Just one little small 20% somewhere, a little rhetoric, you destroy, because it will basically dictate the direction of your mindset, your outlook on these issues, right? So, but here we go. Let's see. Ola, I was logged in, but I was dozing off on the train. I know. All right, you can help your wife in school. Okay, so you're disagreeing with that. Okay, number 2, never fight another man for a woman. I feel like I've heard that she meant to give this advice to a woman, because I've never heard anybody advise men like this before, because typically men don't do that. Typically, not always. Okay, typically men just don't say, oh, you're talking to my wife, they're gonna fight the other man. That's typically anyway, I don't know the numbers, but I see mostly women that do that. They will fight that girl because of a man. Okay, but who knows? But she's advising men, never fight. Would you guys agree with that? Never fight another man for a woman. Would you guys agree with that? Yeah. To be honest, some men have sent their girlfriends to school hoping they will marry them, but the girl disappoints them in the end. Yeah, that happens a lot, as a matter of fact. That's why I'll be trying to tell my brothers, I do know that happens a lot. Your solution to that not happening is terrible, because you will do it again. You will do it again in the worst, because you're a Mr. Nice Guy, obviously. Okay, so telling yourself that I will not be me does not work. There's a reason why you did that in the first place. It's probably because you didn't value yourself, and there's a good chance that you coming up with terrible solutions will make you do even more of it when nobody's watching. You will still do it when nobody's watching, right? So it happens a lot. Okay, a lot of it is, I can also link that back to expectations. Whatever you do for a person, please don't hold that to their neck that they must stay with you forever. Doesn't make any sense. Okay, I guess it makes sense because you get caught up in your emotions. Okay, but don't expect that because you pay for somebody's school fees, they're supposed to stay with you forever. Yeah, that's just, that expectation can hurt you. That's all I can tell you. What if for some reason every time they are sleeping in the bed with you, they start hearing voices in their head in the middle of the night, and then they try to sleep in the other room the other day, not the other room, the other room, and then they didn't hear the voice, but when they are next to you, they're hearing voices, and you don't understand. You think they are running mad or something, and one day she decided, she's like, you know what, I can't do this no more. But you sponsored her through school all her life. But basically, this is a life or death issue now, as far as she's concerned. She's hearing voices in her head. Would you say she should stay with you? So, I use that example because it could be anything, right? For whatever reason, she decided that she wants to move on, but you sponsored her through school, all the way through PhD. It's not cool to ask that person to stay with you forever. It's not good for you either. You should want people that want to be with you only to be with you. If somebody doesn't want to be with you, you should cut them loose as fast as humanly possible. Easier said than done, but that's what you should do still, because you're not going to have a healthy relationship with that person. They want out. They want to run away. In fact, they're having a difficult time making that decision because they actually remember that you sponsored them through school. Anyway, the solution is not that you shouldn't sponsor people through school. The solution is that anything you do that you feel like you have to account for the rest of somebody's life, don't do it. If you know that you expect them to stay with you forever when you sponsor them, then please don't do it. Okay? But there's nothing wrong with having a romantic partner and you have the resources to help them and you help them. That's what normal human beings do. Right? And if you have that kind of fear, don't do it. It's very simple. Okay? Exactly. Men don't fight over women. Yeah, men don't generally do that. So I don't blame a man who wouldn't send their girlfriends to school. Maybe you can help here and there. If you know that this is going to be a point of contention for you in the future, don't do it. If you know that you're in love with a person and you're not thinking about the future and you're not overthinking, what if 40 years from now you decide to dump me if I send you through school right now? If those thoughts are going through your head, as a matter of fact, I will go as far as telling you to break up with that person because you're not in love with that person. You are afraid. You're moving with fear. But at the very minimum, don't send her to school. Still be with her. You don't feel safe to do that. Don't do it. Just don't do it, right? But as an absolute, like never do it, this auntie does not know what she's talking about because these men are precisely going to do that. Including the ones that are barking on the internet that they will never do it. They will do it behind closed doors. Okay? Why do they keep crying on the internet? Because they know that that's who they are. They keep doing what they don't need to be doing. They overstretch themselves, then they resent themselves for it later. And then they blame the rest of the world. Or they blame that person. No, you did it because you were contributing. It was basically you satisfying your basic emotional needs. Did you know that was a basic emotional, personal need? Right? Contribution. Yeah, you were taking care of yourself. Number 6. Right? You were not exactly being Jesus. Stop it. Okay? And it's very important that you understand this deeply because but yeah, these people should appreciate. Yes, they should. I'm talking about the part you can control. The part you can control is that stop setting yourself up for failure. Right? If you have questions about doing good for a person, don't do the good because that's you being a Mr. Nice Guy and you're a manipulative person at best. But if these questions are crawling through your mind and you've been listening to the wrong type of content for a while, so you have the fear, I understand too. I understand. However, the solution still remains the same. If you know that you expect a human being to reward you directly when you do something for them, don't do it for them, including your children. Like this is 2023. Don't send your kids through school because you expect to make them your retirement plan. And by the way, our parents did not do that exactly. There was a part of the culture that seems to enable that and encourage that. I get it. But they didn't exactly do that. That was just more for something you can blame on culture. Okay. The other thing that she said is, don't ever compromise your need for her. What do you ladies think? And gentlemen, sorry. Our numbers have increased. A lot of men are showing up, by the way. A lot of men are showing up more now. Okay. Our numbers have increased by at least about 50% of men in the last 2 months. And I love it because I do want my brothers to be coming back so we can have these conversations. Okay. What do you think? Never compromise your need for her. If this resonates with you, right, just on a surface level, on paper, black and white, if that statement resonates with you somehow and you're able to relate and you agreed, Baba, stay alone, no. Stay alone, no. Your life will be a lot more softer. Don't do it. You will hurt. You will attempt to hurt other people, obviously, but you might not even know you're doing it. But you will hurt yourself. You will collect shege if you go into a romantic relationship with that mindset. Right? If you can, obviously there's nuances, right? There's situations where I'll tell you. Remember, I always talk about self-love, self-care, right? Self-worth. Don't pour from an empty cup. You should be taking care of yourself, right? But that you will not pour into other people in the form of compromise. Literally in the form of, like, the exact word, in the form of compromise, as in, like, okay, I would like this, but because I love this person, I'm going to push this for the side again because I want to contribute to this person's life. I want to give into this person's life. Don't do relationship. It's not worth it for you. You waste your time, you waste other people's time, and nobody comes out all free. When you collect breakfast or you serve breakfast, nobody comes out free. Oh. Nobody. Call on to Alabashi. Imagine having kids with that person. You, that child, and that person will collect. It's not worth it. If the word compromise sounds like a curse to you, it sounds like swearing, don't do it. Oh, ladies, the same thing goes for you. You don't like the word compromise? It irks you. It makes you feel, it makes your stomach turn. Don't do it. It's not worth it. It will never work. It will never work. She is a hypocrite. When we're in a relationship with sacrifice for one another, sounds very self, like this is the kind of people I said, is like, oh yeah, self-love. No, self-love was not for you. That we're not talking, when we say self-love, we're not talking about you. You're a selfish person. And you deserve to stay selfish. Just your own resources, and just use that. God help you. If you work at McDonald's, you will eat. You'll be fine. Okay? Just obey the laws, because if you do something stupid, we'll remove you from society too. Shout out to Naira Marley. Don't do relationships. It's not worth it. No, you'll be shocked, Chinye. They don't even know they do it, but once you said the word compromise, their stomach turns. They won't say that my stomach is turning, but it's their rhetoric. It's when they start talking like, why are you so angry? Anyway, let's see this one. Number 4, she said, don't disrespect family for a woman. On surface, on paper, that's correct. But usually in these issues, there's usually more to the story. Tell us the rest of the story. Oh, I'm not wearing that shirt today. Tell us the rest of the story. What are you talking about exactly? What happened that you are labeling as disrespect to the family? Right? What happened? What happened? Why are you talking about disrespect to the family? What happened? Can you tell us the rest of the story? Okay? If your mother, the example we always like to give, if your mother as a man is fighting your wife for the front seat, right? You say, Mom, please get in the back. Okay? Thank you. Do you consider that disrespect? Right? If you say, Mom, I got this. Money, I handle it. I will handle it. Don't worry about it, Mom. Mommy, I can go. I will handle it. Is that disrespect? If you tell Mom that, Mom, the kitchen, what happened in the kitchen? It's your wife. Your wife is a very stupid woman. What are you talking about? What do you mean she's a very stupid woman? Well, come and sit down. Let me tell you what your wife did to me today. Nobody. And you decide to be a man and say, Mom, I can't believe you. Like, if you forget what she's saying. You're like, why are you talking like that? You never raised me like that. Oh yeah, Mommy, let's go in the backyard. Let's go have a conversation. I need to have a word with you. So you're not going to talk to her right now. You're not going to tell her to leave this house right now, right? In that picture that I just painted there, do you consider that disrespect to your family? I want to know what you mean by disrespect to the family. If you tell your sisters who are disrespectful to your wife to stay in their own husband's house, is that disrespect to your family? Right? See, if we're talking about outrightly just telling everybody, like, just being disrespectful, just for no reason, just because, just disrespect your family, I agree with her. But usually that's not what's going on. There's usually more to the story. Right? Because you deem this person qualified to be married, to marry them, right? So they're now your wife, right? Or they're your girlfriend, you're spending time with them, right? No, she's absolutely right. You should not outrightly, just because, disrespect your family. However, if we're talking about a household, right, a marriage is involved, right? And that part in the Bible that says leave to cleave, some people are completely disconnected from that. They know the Bible verse quite all right. They just don't know what it means in real life. They can't comprehend it. If some people have a problem with that by way of their action, as a man, you're expected to draw the boundaries. And they will respect with time. That means you have to be patient with the process too, right? Is that equals to disrespect your family? Because these aunties like this, they will mislead you, gentlemen. They will mislead you. In life, as a general, sometimes you have to set not just boundaries, you set priorities. Some things are prioritized ahead of the other, not because they are bigger, it's because when you prioritize that one element, it helps everything else. That's part of your responsibility as a man, right? And if you don't understand that, your mother will come in and try to help you. Yes, she will. And what that looks like is that if you're not a man enough, it looks like she's trying to help you. Yeah, your mother. Yeah, she's trying to help you. She means well, but she's not helping you. It's gonna get worse. Because that's your wife at the end of the day. Right? So there's a priority you set in terms of how you undo issues, not the persons, how you undo issues, right? Because they have a downstream effect on everything else in a positive way. And when you decide to do quote unquote what you consider the right thing, you know, some of us are obsessed with being right? I tell you, you're already right. However, that doesn't mean that you understand how these things work. Some things you handle and then to create the right result for you. Some things you do it just because it's the right thing to do it to create the wrong result for you. Right? But yes, but that's still doing the right thing. No, I'm saying to you because you want to make sure, I'm suggesting to you to make sure you assess things properly. Make sure you assess these things properly. Because if you don't, it will come back and haunt you. Okay? You will mess up everything for yourself. Why? Because the women in your life, your mother, your wife, they actually expect you to lead. But when you can't lead, they will attempt to help you lead. And that completely goes left because now you start to feel insecure. And now it's just discombobulation everywhere. That's not what you want. So when you're listening to this auntie's advice, don't disrespect family for a woman. She's correct. But don't forget to ask her, what do you mean? Because if you're relating and you say she's absolutely correct, there's a chance that you're relating in the wrong way. There's a chance that you've been having some experience. You've been collecting shege from your woman. And you're already saying that maybe she's disrespectful, right? And then you want to go back home and say, there's women like your mate on TikTok right now saying that I should not disrespect my mother because of you. And you take that advice and then you go back and then your mother and your sisters are in their own house, right? And you here with the blue balls. Yeah, sex is not everything. I understand you don't care about blue balls, right? I get it. But we're talking about your household, your family. Don't you want to do your best to keep it together, right? Don't you want to do your best, do everything that you can do so that 3 months from now, this woman is heads over heels in love with you all over again, and you don't have to ask for respect, submission, trust. These things are default, right? I'm just saying, be careful what kind of advices you're listening to out there. These things are dangerous. Dangerous, okay? Particularly because that small 20% lie that you're relating with, that one that connects with your emotions will hurt you, okay? Everything she's saying, as usual, on paper, they're correct. The reality is that we don't live inside of papers. We live a real life and there's so many nuances. So much wisdom is required. Number 5, she said, never commit crime for a woman. Ojebi. Before uncle. Before uncle. I beg, let's just leave this auntie alone, Jare. Let's move on to the main topic of the day. I'll be right back. All right, let's talk about Imole. Let's talk about Imole Light. So there's some updates today. The updates are just as interesting as the past few days, but I want to just get through them really quickly because I want to try to finish on time today. All right, there were some peaceful protests everywhere today, and I saw some coverage of them. But there was supposed to be a peaceful protest. There was supposed to be a peaceful protest tomorrow that is being cancelled. And Auntie Yabo, let me just play this video. Let me see. Let me play this video. 1 second. Okay, I won't be able to play the video because it's a live. I won't be able to scroll through it. Okay, but she was just saying. I'll just put it on the screen. This is the person that was talking. This is the live where she said it. She said she got a call from the CP. What is CP? Something police. Chief police? Is that what it is? CP, some police boss. She got a call from them. And well, before I get into that, let me just bring us up to speed. We're talking about Mohbad. Mohbad is the young man that passed away on the 12th, about 7 days ago now. Can you believe it's already 7 days? Jesus Christ. Oh my God. Time flies, man. Time flies, right? We're talking about this young man on the screen, 27 years old, much bigger. I'm just finding out much bigger than an upcoming artist. He has some hits under his belt. About 4 shows ago, we played some of his hits here. And he had been threatened by a record label called Malian Music, led by a guy called Naira Marley, who has some hits under his belt as well, like this OP. And he has his own hits like Peace, hits like KPK. He had some hits under his belt. Anyway, Feel Good, he has hits with he has songs with people like Davido. Maybe you know who Davido is, right? But this young man's life was cut short unexpectedly. He's been harassed all over town. Every time he goes to a show, they will show up with their thugs and they will harass him, they will threaten him, and then he started to have fear for his life for a long time. In fact, there's a live video somewhere on the internet. Okay, there's a live video somewhere on the internet somewhere where he was so afraid of his life. He went live on Instagram. He was asking for police to come and save him. He was talking about what street he was on. This was as far back as February 2022. But the noise unfortunately was not big enough to save him, sadly. So he lost his life about 7 days ago. And so this auntie here is Auntie Yabo. I'm calling her auntie. She's not my auntie, but she's an actress in Nigeria. She's a popular actress in Nigeria, and she's basically taking on this case, and she's following up with everything. So there was supposed to be a peaceful walk tomorrow to protest, a peaceful protest to fight for justice. Hashtag justice for Mohbad, and they canceled that. And she says she got a call from the CP. Okay, and the CP was saying, well, there were some threats. They might sabotage the peaceful protests, and they might cause fight. And I'm like, wow. In a country that's in the middle of democracy, so the police cannot provide enough. Wow. Now we really feel safe as citizens. You can't protect us when we are doing peaceful protest. Interesting. And the chief police, I don't know if that's what CP means, called her to give this terrible excuse. Well, of course, I don't blame them because they have to protect themselves. They've decided to cancel the peaceful protests. So she went online to say they will continue the pressure. Part of the pressure was supposed to be a peaceful protest. They were supposed to walk to the police station and to a couple of other places, the executive governor's office, to make a statement. But now they can't do that anymore because the police that's designed to protect them is telling them don't do it. Wow. But these are some of the problems. This is why even in this case right now, police is supposed to be, they've decided to help, right? But they'll collect. Okay, and there's more people actually coming out to say, hey, we need the police that handled the case recklessly, because the young man filed a petition, and they were saying he didn't answer to the petition to come to the police to come and defend himself, when obviously you had already called the culprit to the station to come and face him. He was afraid for his life. Of course he wouldn't show up. So they are now holding those police that mishandled that petition. Everybody's calling out for those police to be held accountable too, and I agree with that. Okay, so the peaceful protest is not going to happen tomorrow, sadly. It's not going to happen. But yes, let's do some more updates today. Also today, Iyabo Ojo went to see the other young man who had been harassed by Malian Music. His name is DJ Splash. He had been harassed by Malian Music. There's also claims that his drinks were laced with substance, that the boy is not acting right. He has when he's talking, you can see that his orientation is off, right? The words we were getting over the past few days is that he's run mad. But you know, Nigerian people, when they see anybody that lost their orientation, they will call you mad, or anything that looks like a mental health condition, they will just call him mad. But it looks like he's sick, definitely, and he's going to need some help. So Auntie Iyabo also went there today. Let me see here. So I want to do some updates on that. I'm going to play some videos just to catch up, and then we'll take it from there. Let's see. All right. So the governor today, the governor of Lagos State, which is the richest state in Nigeria, he left a statement for the first time. Okay, so I'm going to read that statement from Governor Sanwo-Olu right now. Let's see. It says, I would like to assure everyone that I am not oblivious to the sad passing of Ilerioluwa Oladimeji Imole Aloba Mohbad. Okay, I'm actually reading it from this page. We have been closely working behind the scenes with relevant authorities and following keenly the ongoing investigations. However, in order to boost the investigations, I have invited the Department of State Services, DSS, I think is the highest police in the country, to join the investigation and widen the dragnet with interagency collaboration and use of best-in-class technology to unearth the truth. Yeah. Brother Patrick, good to see you, sir. How are you, sir? Shawa. Yep. So, I have instructed that all those who may have played any role whatsoever in any event leading to the death of Mohbad be made to face the law after a thorough investigation. I hereby plead with all those who may have vital information that may assist the investigation process to avail the investigating team with such. Okay? We're going to see some funny stuff today. Okay, CP is Commissioner of Police. Thank you, sir. Thank you. I have also appealed to the investigating team to guarantee the confidentiality of protection of all witnesses who may come forward with vital information or indicative evidence that may assist the process. The police and the DSS have been admonished to brief the public on their efforts periodically. I also appeal to all friends and fans of the deceased to stay calm and refrain from making inflammatory utterances, okay, and reaching prejudicial conclusions on this matter. The fact is that people will reach prejudicial conclusions on this matter because it's that painful for the public. So, but it's okay for him to discourage it. That's fine. Staying calm and following the process keenly will be our most solemn tribute to the memory of the departed talent. I hereby commiserate with the family, friends, and colleagues, and fans all over the world on Imole's sad demise. I wish everyone love and light, and may his soul rest in peace. I do think that's a very apt, nice statement for the governor to make. All right. Now let's move on. There's this young man, Zeloniski, the one that they said don't play his music. There's this video that I saw earlier. Lover blog. Let me play this real quickly.
Mind no go touch ground. My mind no go touch ground.
He said, "Una mind no go touch ground." It's Yoruba English for "Okonyo ni bale." That means you won't have rest, right? You won't have peace of mind. Okay, that's what Zeloniski said. Okay. But apart from why is Cameroon lawyer saying Mohbad is a drug addict? Well, that boy had been tampered with, just like anybody that has been a part of this camp. Okay. We don't know the facts. The only thing we also know is that the legacy of Mohbad is that a lot of people say he's a peaceful person, and he rebelled a lot against what they were doing in that camp. You know. So, but we also know that Mohbad was a street boy, right? So, just because somebody is a street boy doesn't mean they're not a citizen that should be protected, which is why there's all this noise everywhere, right? But he clearly got to a point and he didn't want to be a part of that camp anymore. But he was a part of them before, right? And it's going to be very, very hard for me to think that a person could live in a house with them, do music with them, tour around the nation with them, live in and out with them, and they didn't participate at some level of, maybe they didn't realize it was going to go to a certain extent. Again, a lot of these men were young men, gullible, vulnerable, young men that were just trying to blow. They just, even till today, when I'll play that video in a second, the DJ Splash video, he just wanted to do music. Do you know what that means when a young man, 16, 17, 18, 19, up to 25 says, I just want to do music? That is it's a pregnant statement. It usually also means, I'll do anything. Just help me. Okay? Now, to what extent? That's all for debate, right? But Malian music, they were doing a lot of drugs in that camp. All right, they do a lot of drugs in that camp. It's obvious, which is why people like Tonto DK said the NDLEA, the Drug Substance Control Agency of Nigeria, that they were mad to even make it to try to manipulate people to make Naira Marley an ambassador. It just didn't make sense. At that time, I couldn't really connect the dots because, again, I wasn't a Malian like that. So I said like that. Yeah, I like the music, but I wasn't following him. So I didn't understand what she was saying because last time I checked, Tonto also did Igbo too before. So I just didn't connect it, So anyway, this boy, if you look at his conduct right now, Zeloniski, if you look at his conduct on the screen, let me make it bigger.
Una mind no go touch ground. Una mind no go touch ground. Una mind no go touch ground. Una mind no go touch ground.
All right, so
Una mind no go touch.
My question is that, do you guys see what she's trying to say, or he or she, whoever this lover is trying to say? So wait till what did you saw? Then the caption says, you see why I said Zeno needs help to be free from that death trap of a record label. I believe that too. Again, these are young men. This is not giving them a pass, but they are gullible. Okay? They are gullible. A boy who is not 30 years old is shaking while talking. Yeah, why is he shaking like that? I even look closer. I say, is it because the air is shaking? Abi is shaking. Why is his neck moving back and forth like that? What is in his hands? Is that a pregnancy test or something? I'm not sure. Anyway, he's dry by the day. A lot of people are seeing that in his pictures. Like, why is he skinny? right? No tangible achievement so far, yet the mother is silent. These people have parents, but they're silent because nobody should destroy the glory of their child, right? Nigerian women. I won't say a word on this again. I feel if they need help, the mother will cry out now. I don't talk my own, oh, I come in peace. I think that's a good call out, because some of these men, including that young lady from yesterday, they are under duress. They are confused right now. That everybody in that camp is confused right now, and it will be a very difficult decision for them to come out. But every piece of encouragement can help them come out and say, I don't want to be a part of that. But they're probably watching them because, you know, snitches get stitches, right? It's a very dangerous game. D-Love says he's high as a kite. I think I saw that too. I didn't see that for that. Then I looked closer. I was like, these people. Now, wow. But anyway, let's continue. That's Zelonliski right now. I'm not sure if that's an old video or if that's a more recent video. I'm not sure where that's coming from. But that boy looks like he's on something. Okay. All right. Let me play this. Let's see if we can play this. Let me play this. I'm gonna play this really quickly.
Alaye down Ọládìméjì alọ́ba ìwọ ni mò ń ké pè dákun jẹ́mi ní o Mohbad tí ìrìn jìnnà ṣáájú lé ọ̀run torí rẹ̀ mo fi ń ké pè ọ́ lọ́jọ́ òní èǹperí rẹ̀ fún ti bí bójúwẹ́lẹ̀ kó dá mi lóhùn. Mo kọ́kọ́ fẹ́ kó o mọ̀ wípé tẹrú tọmọ tàgbà tọmọdé lọ́kùnrin lóbìnrin ní ṣẹlẹ́dẹ̀ lẹ́yìn rẹ̀. Ikú àìpé ọjọ́ rẹ̀ dùn wá gidi gan ni ó wọnú egbò wa sẹ́. Gbogbo wa pátá la sì ṣetán àti jà fún ọ torí náà fọwọ́rọ̀ láyà ọ̀làdàlà ni. Ṣùgbọ́n mọ́ sàṣùpìyè torí ṣeṣe kù. Àṣòṣà kankan ṣùgbọ́n gbogbo ayé pátápátá ló ti panupọ̀ tí wọ́n rò rẹ̀. Èló jẹ́ kí n ké pé ọlọ́jọ́ òní Mohbad ó ti yá gbéra yàtọ̀ ọ̀dára. Gbónúgbó ìkádùn kẹ́nikẹ́ni tó bá lọ́wọ́ nù rè ó mọ̀ kádùn. Àkànnàmọ̀gbé káṣù gbogbo wọn pátápátá ni káṣù. Òfò wa lórí ẹ̀fọ́ ṣe onígbòwò ṣe lẹ́yọ̀kan tọmọtọmọ. Ìran ńlá ní tòjú yẹ kó. Ìran kan ní tòjú yẹ wẹ̀jẹ̀. Gbogbo ẹni tó bá lọ́wọ́ nínú Mohbad kí wọ́n máa ṣàn kí wọ́n máa dànù. Ọládìméjì tógun ti jà. Àṣírí àwọn lọ́wọ́ nù yóò gbọ́dọ̀ kò nísinmi. Òkú ọlọ́run sùn. Ìmọ́lẹ̀ wẹ́jú ṣàbò lórí ọmọ fi sílẹ̀. Ó dárìnà ó dojú àlá sọ̀run rí. Ìmọ́lẹ̀ rẹ̀ ti wá padà rí ayé ó sì ti òmìnira. Ẹni bá wá kú mọ́lẹ̀ kò mọ́ ẹni tí ń sunkún ariwo lásán ní pa. Ẹ jẹ́ ká parapọ̀ jà fún mọ́lẹ̀ tí ò bá ìbí. Ẹ jẹ́ ká rántí wà ládágbádá àti dandan ká lọ lọ́jọ́ ẹni tó kàn láàmú. Ó dìgbò ó ṣe ó dìgbére mọ̀ sùn lọ títí táwọn pàdé láyà olùgbàlà. Afẹ́ ọ ṣùgbọ́n lọ́n fẹ́ ọ jù sùnre.
Yeah. Wow, that was deep. Okay. All right. So this was happening in Ekiti today. So even Ekiti no carry last though. Even Ekiti no carry last though. So there's a lot of peaceful protest already today, you know. I guess people are feeling threatened.
It's not allowed. It is not allowed. But you can do some investigation on who killed him. You might not know who killed him, but at least we know who threatened him till death.
All right, that's actor Lala Dakpo. Lala Dakpo leads Ekiti peaceful protest justice for Mohbad. All right. All right, let's just get through some of the updates. I'm just going through some of the updates that I saved for us to review. There's more. Gores came out of nowhere. She said, "This is really touchy." I know. That's why I played it. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see here. What else did we see today? Let's see. All right. So the NDLEA has a track record as far back as Fela days. Now we're saying this to hold them accountable so that they can do the right thing. Because these are your government agencies if you live in Nigeria. This is our government agencies, right? Hold on 1 second. All right, so this is our government agencies. These are yours. These are our problems, right? So you have to keep holding them accountable, right? You have to keep holding them accountable. That's what you can do, right? So Fela, as far back as Fela days, like even including how, not just Fela, even the great Chief MKO Abiola, right? There's all types of speculation and rumors that the NDLEA were responsible. Well, maybe not NDLEA, but government agency are responsible for those people, allegedly responsible for those people's passings, right? Including Fela. You know what we know public record is that AIDS, right? Fela passed away from AIDS. But this guy was one of the people in the camp of Fela's camp back in those days. Shout out to Objective TV Media, Shagun. He put this up. I'm gonna play it. He did this interview at the time too. I'm gonna play this. Video, so you can understand what I am talking about in terms of them giving people, lazing people's water and drinks. The speculations that Chief MKO Abiola passed away from drinking tea. Have you ever heard that before? It's a rumor out there, you know. Thank you, Jerry Gorex. Right? There's a rumor out there, you know. So, but let me play this for you. Now we'll take it from there.
I remember clearly when Fela called me, when he told me, he said, they took me something.
He said, Fela called him and said, you know what? They injected him with something. That was Fela, the great Fela, the king of Afro, the original Afrobeat, right? That they actually took him. That means they injected him with something. That was when he was arrested by government agencies back in the days, because he was a guy who spoke to power. He spoke the truth to power a lot. He was an activist. A lot of his music were remembered for that. Remember Zombie, oh zombie, zombie. Yeah. That's Fela, right? And this is one of the guys that was in his camp at the time. I forgot his name now, but let me just play this.
Bill, I said they took me something here.
It's like they injected him with something there.
That matter, nobody talked this matter since. I did wait for how many years?
He said that matter, nobody talked about this matter since that. He's been waiting so many years.
It's 22 years now.
22 years.
Nobody talked this matter.
Wait, did Fela pass away 22 years ago? No. Much older. Okay, that's when they recorded this video. Yeah, that's when they did this interview.
And this one a true talk. Later, we started seeing the degenerate state of his health. We started seeing the
later they started seeing the degenerative state of his health, right? The Matrix, if they need to kill you slowly, they know exactly what to do. That it won't be obvious. It won't be like somebody choked you to death and they know what to do. So when Mohbad says they gave him something to drink, right? That won't be the first time that the government agency has been accused of something like that, right? Let's continue.
Level at which things dropped, and we all know how it ended.
In Fela's own experience,
that's Shagun right there.
What was it like? Was it the time they were abducting him, or was he after he came back from prison that he said he made a statement that they took him something?
When they forced him to, what do they call that place? Bamayide, on NDLEA.
There you go.
Now for there.
The NDLEA was the one that was the agency that raided Naramali's house, or this boy's house where they stayed, the Malian house, right? And this is when the picture you're looking down right there. Let me make it bigger so you can see what we're talking about. That picture of Mohbad right there was when he was crying that they gave him something to drink. They didn't take him away. They arrested him. They held him hostage for a second, gave him something to drink according to him, and then he was let go. He was the only one that was given something to drink, but the other ones were kind of sort of arrested. Could it be that they didn't arrest him so that it doesn't look, and they arrested the other ones so that it doesn't look obvious that they were trying to hurt him? Could it be? Because the mother said since that time that he drank that water, he has not been okay. He's been going in and out of himself. Right? When whatever water we're talking about, when you mix that together with all kind of crazy drugs that's out on Nigerian streets, some of these crazy drugs are turning people mad. They just happen not to be celebrities, so you don't hear majority of this story. There's no coverage for them. Okay, let's continue.
Baba.
They injected Baba.
Yes.
When he was in their custody, he said yes. Okay, he said yes.
And I make bold to say it. It tells Sheon myself.
He told Sheon, that Sheon Kuti and himself.
I say him today. Why nobody don't talk this matter since? I don't know.
He said, why has nobody talked about this since?
But did he tell you what that thing they injected?
How would he know?
He didn't know. He just knew something was wrong.
He just felt something, and because he asked us that he said I don't ever sleep face down before. I would say no. Say you don't ever see me sleep face down. Say no. Say so how I take up. Say when I come wake up I can feel it. I say they don't choke me so.
Yeah, no, that I have many come. Any man the drug go. Making mommy. Only anybody.
He said they gave him something to drink.
Okay.
He said he's the only one that drank it. Nobody else was asked to drink that water. He's crying. He said he's swearing. He's saying he swear to God that he was the only one that was asked to drink. He said he won't lie. He said they smacked him with a gun in the head, right? All right, I don't want to play that anymore. Let me keep moving. All right, let's go on to some of the other updates. So that's again NDLEA. These are the reasons why the investigations must happen, and it needs to happen. It's not about just who killed him or whatever, It's about like there's a bunch of criminal activities before the day of his passing, right? So that they need to check that. They need to check what happened. Yeah, there needs to be investigation, and then the people that are doing the investigation need to be held accountable, because unfortunately, if this story starts to slow down to be just another sad story in Nigeria, and people will move on because bills must be paid, right? Just saying. See how many people are out there today. All right, that's how many people are out there today. A lot of people are out there today. All right. I thought this was funny. Let me show you guys something. We're Nigerians. We'll find laughter in the midst of all of this. Okay. Let me show you something real quickly. This girl, some Tony Tones. Anybody know who that is? I don't know who that is. The person said, I just saw someone that looks like Zeno. Be like, say, make a wozam.
Sorry,
I'm sure there's a like make a wozam. Listen. Let me see here. All right, so in terms of moving on, you know, Omale is another artist that's really doing well all over the United States, doing well. Obviously, upcoming Afrobeats artist, not upcoming. Okay, it was doing well in Nigeria. It's heavy. Omale is heavy. I'm gonna show you this. Okay, there's a video. Let me play that video for you that he did with Adish Shop. But I think this guy is in the UK. He used to be a part of Factory 78. Let me play that video. In terms of moving on, right?
Yeah. We just heard that a young musician in Nigeria just passed away, Mohbad.
Yeah, I'm going to also use this chance to say you have to live your life. If you're watching this right now, you have to know that you have to live your life. Look, Mohbad just passed. It broke me down so much. But at the same time, you go on Instagram, you see everybody vibing, everybody's in the club, everybody's moving on, everybody's moving on. You have to live your life. You really have to live your life. You have to do what pleases you. You have to be in your vibe 247. Don't let anybody kill it for you, because as soon as you're gone, everything anybody can do for you is come and say, all right, here, their stories on their feet, and that's done.
When you say everybody has moved on and they are vibing and stuff like that, I think he's more so talking about businesses, right? Because since that few days, a lot of people have not exactly moved on. But businesses, a lot of them, they had to wake them up 5 days into it, right? They had to wake them. They had to see the noise and like, oh, this is not going away. So everybody's doing tribute now, and they're doing RIP, you know. So I think it's more so talking about the industry. They actually attempted to move on. People had to wake them up like 3, 4, 5 days later on, you know. So no, did they drag him? People drag him for saying that, right? I think it was more so talking about. I think it was talking about because people didn't move on. People didn't move on exactly. So if he was talking about people, that would be completely off base. Maybe he's not paying attention, you know. I'm gonna play. There's a video that I'm looking for. Okay, I found it. I found the video I'm looking for. There's this young man that's been going viral recently, and when people get views, they start thinking that they can have a say on everything without slowing down, you know. I don't know what he's talking about, but let's look at this. Let's look at what he said, and then I want to hear your opinion about it. Okay, let me share. This guy, his name is Very Dark Man on TikTok. He's been having a lot of opinions. Have goes glass with Nkechi Blessing. Have goes glass with Jenny the Glow with the who sells cream. So it's been going viral. Everybody posts him. Today had not posting him. This is Today had not posting him right here, right now. Let's see what he has to say. Oh, sorry. I didn't share it yet. Let me share it. I'm going to share it. Hold on 1 second. Just give me 1 second. All right, here we go.
I see a lot of people already trying to set up a GoFundMe. Even Tunde had not posted one yesterday, which is a very good idea. Trying to get money to see the boy through school and to also give Mohbad's child a good life. But then again, I don't think this is the right time, you know, because even the day they buried Mohbad, right where they were burying the boy, they were still dragging properties. They were already telling the girl to bring land documents. They were already saying the girl was holding money and blah, 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 blah. These people never even reach out to mourn their pikin. Your breadwinner die when I don't drag money, when I don't drag material property. You understand? Other than this reason, self again, even the girl's safety is at stake. Even the girl's safety is at stake. So they should do the investigation when it blows out, or people can contribute the money, keep it somewhere. Secondly, I like the fact that they are bringing out Mohbad body for autopsy. While they are doing that, I beg, may they do DNA tests for that pikin. More they sure say true now Mohbad get on, because all those things they don't get the rights. Actually, rights on our page. Oh, they make me a widow at this one, that, all those ones now. If you dey watch crime movie, you go understand. Say everybody, if you dey involved, you can suspect everybody in total. Guy, everybody will be suspected. Because again, another reason why I'm talking like this, According to what I'm hearing, that Mohbad put a lot of things in that girl's name. I'm not saying anything yet, but I am thinking it, and everything is possible. Do you understand? She do a serious DNA test. There's a 90% chance that child is his, and a 10% chance that it's not his child. Even like that, they should do a DNA test. All right, I see a lot of.
All right, what do you guys think? What do you guys think about that? Let me answer Goddess Conan's question first. I'm just wondering, why are they being given substance? It was the only thing we can think about is some of the narratives that he knew some things that the Malian music didn't want to get out. They didn't trust him because he left the label. Okay, so they wanted to get rid of him. That's some of the narratives out there. So Very Dark Man, what do you guys think about what Very Dark Man said? We should start doing DNA test. Yeah, this obsession with DNA tests with Nigerians, is it the trauma of paternity fraud is real? Yeah. So yeah, you can't even focus on your own DNA test. You want to do DNA test for the person who has passed away already. Oh, interesting. Let me read some of this comments. Olawumi, who's a person I know. The way Instagram does that, if I know the people personally, they put their comment at the top somehow. I beg, please change Mohbad's coffin too. Let him be laid properly. His neck should not be, Jesus Christ, woman, Jesus Christ. Oh my God. Anyway, this person is my this is my actual half sister. This is a TT here. She said it be like say this Very Dark Man don't they to feel important. Great minds think alike. I should actually make her watch this. I don't know if she watches the show, by the way. A person accept his son, and now you can't want to do DNA. The person already accepted his son when he was here. Now you want to do DNA. You could see him carrying his son around, being excited by his son, right? I beg, Chief Jare, don't distract us. That's a fact. I'm proud of Titi for that statement, because if she says something stupid, I wouldn't read it. I wouldn't even say anything right now. I find this disrespectful to the wife and Imole. If the late father didn't see the DNA didn't see the need for a DNA and even celebrated his child's naming ceremony in a big way, why should an outsider suggest that? It is disrespectful. It is. It's the audacity in spitting shit and people are cheering you. Yeah. It's ridiculous. It's a ridiculous thing to say. If he bought properties in her name, then don't you guys think he had his reasons, and clearly his family are already justifying his actions? You guys should just allow the girl rest. Yeah, it's such an insensitive thing to say. What did Tunde say? Let Tunde not let him collect too. Let's see what he said. This guy the yarn deep stuff, Sha. What? What did you say?
Sorry, yo.
Deep stuffs. What do you think about this? No, you already said what you think. You already said what you think, bro. Ridiculous. It's terrible. Terrible. Anyway, it sounds effing ridiculous. Would I be judgment will start from Nigeria? What do you mean? Judgment will start from Nigeria because Nigerians are judgmental? It will. Jesus will come to Nigeria first. Right? That should have it speaks more about the person talking. That if you agree with that, that speaks more about you, because clearly the gentleman, before he passed away, he accepted his son. Okay, and that's all that should matter. That's just a ridiculous suggestion. It makes no sense. Anyway, let's move on. Let's see. Let me play this one again. Hopefully there's no copyright over this one. Let's see. Let me play this, another small tribute here.
Ask yourself, what do you want you spending down for? Brother man, kill it, brother man, cause I'm great. Sinner man, judge and sinners. Oh my gosh. Give me the power to hate my enemies. Oh my gosh.
I'm in jail, bro. Please just help me. I don't want to die. Help me.
All right. They put his voice at the end of it. It's a tribute, small clip. Oh God. Nawa. All right. Let's see here. All right. So let's play a little bit of this guy's video. This was DJ Splash. And there's a support thing on the screen. I'll just leave that on the screen. This was posted by Yabo Ojo. This was when she went live earlier, when she visited DJ Splash. DJ Splash was a DJ who was also signed. He was working with the Malian. I'm not sure if he was signed. He was working with Malian music, and the mother is the one sitting next to it. There was an audio that we played a few days ago. A mother that was saying her son has run mad or is doing one-on-one run. They don't know what's going on with him or something like that. So as Auntie Yabo was live yesterday, somebody said something about it and she decided to take it up. And she went and visited them today. So shout out to her for that. And there's a video in this boy's face now of him talking. He's saying something that's making sense. It seems like he's leaving some things out. It seems like he's still more concerned about blowing. But his orientation is off. It seems like something has tampered with this young man. Okay. Now, in order to give you proper context, okay, there's a particular. Let me see if I can find it. There's a particular picture of him that I would really want you to see first before you see this picture, so that you can understand where this young man is coming from. Someone has definitely tampered with his well-being. Something has definitely tampered with his well-being. Let me see if I can find it. Oh my God. One second. Oh, not that one. Let's see. Let me see if I can find it real quickly. Yeah, I'm just looking for a picture. Okay, I found it. There you go. This was him. This was DJ Splash. Okay. He was an upcoming. He was a DJ. You know, and we can't really see the orientation here, but you can just tell that. But obviously, when you mix that up together, what the mother is saying and stuff, something has tampered with that boy's orientation. But it's a young man, and then he decided he wanted to do music too, you know, and then they started talking about they should give him something, blah blah blah. But maybe you guys can understand what he's talking about. I don't know. It was quite hard for me to understand, but one thing I know is that there's still a chance for him to come back. Okay, but let me play that for you, and then we'll take it from there.
There's nothing now.
Before she was working.
Yeah, before, but now you don't even have.
Do you know why she's not working now? Because she's been taking care of you.
Yeah. So
that's what happened to you.
So, in between me and him.
You and who?
Me and Amali. So I have been in his house for like 4 years. I have been hustling, but the work I'm doing, like the work is not going the way it's supposed to go for me, and I can change my work like to straight music, like I should even be in the industry straight, because apart from DJ, like my music, like I know about music, you know what I'm talking about. I know about music, like
yeah, you know about music, I know.
Yeah.
But Patrick.
So I'm trying to put into music. So I explained to him that he said what happens, like I tell him the work on this videos work. My mom used to call me sometimes that.
So you could tell that this young man, I'm not going to play too much of it because I can't really scroll it or control that, right? You could tell that this young man, well, his English is not strong. You know, he probably didn't stay in school. When you mix that together with the fact that his orientation is off, it was quite sad to watch. But the only thing I can think of is that, oh wow, they probably thought they could take advantage of a lot of street boys like this. Because Naramali is like, oh, he speaks Pidgin. These boys, they probably can speak Pidgin English better than regular English and Yoruba. He tried to speak Yoruba at some point, and I thought that maybe that was helping a little bit. But let me see if I can find that clip where he was trying to speak Yoruba. But it was just very, very sad to watch. Let me see. Let's see. Anyway, it's just sad to watch, So he's still they're trying to help him, and you could, like I said, the thing that I put on the screen. If you want to rewind later, you can watch. If you want to support them, but she's vowed to support him, the mother. But it was basically a boy that wanted to. He found an opportunity again. Gullible young man. They want to blow. They want to become popular. They want to become the next Wizkid, right? Wizkid. Davido never really did this kind of stuff, but Wizkid did that. Run around, different. You see all of them smoke one way or the other, right? Their industry lifestyle, just trying to blow. Once they blow, they blow. You give them this type of access, crazy access to money, lifestyle. They don't know what to do with themselves. And Naramali falls in that category as well, in addition to the fact that he's a criminal. Okay, somebody is going to say, hey, don't what's the word? Don't judge him before. Baba, go and sit down somewhere. I don't have the capability of judging him. My opinion is that he's a criminal. Here you have it. Okay. So I don't know what you might want to do with that, but my opinion is that he's a criminal. Okay. So there's too much evidence is everywhere. I don't know what you want from people, but there's too much evidence everywhere. Okay. But there's one more person, not one more. Almost done. We're almost done. I'm going to keep it on time today. Let's see here. Is this video here? No. Okay, so according to Sam Clef, so far they've raised about 32 million naira, which is what Darkman was talking about. Brother Patrick, what did Brother Patrick say? Brother Patrick said, very dark man has a dark brain. That's funny. Gorex says it's happening with the gospel artists too, I bet. See, the thing is I mentioned churches yesterday, right? Yeah, it's happening in churches. Have you spoken, Aka Bant? Aka, the name of his platform is called Aka Bant. His name is Aka. Is he a radio person? He does skits, but it's a talk show host, stuff like that. Aka used to be a part of the Koza camp in Abuja. Have you listened to Aka's story about what happens in Koza? It's the same thing, right? Now, obviously, to build an organization, you need to build culture, which is, some people extract cult out of that. Their behavior is cult. To an extent, to a large extent, you will see practices. You see that with the Oya Kilome Church as well. They have a practice that they follow, like it's some kind of cult activities, right? But when it becomes assault, right? So when you say it's happening, when it becomes assault is when it crosses the line of legalities, right? Or when you're assaulting a person over or you're bullying them, right? But blacklisting, but that one is legal, and they do it in every industry. Let me warn you. They blacklist you, and it's usually a secret list. A few people will keep a secret list. They tell everybody else in the industry. You just see that nobody's working with you. It's sad, but it's the reality of many, many industries. Okay? Even here on YouTube. You didn't know? Yeah, content creators are mad too, just in case you don't know. Anyway, it's just a reality of life, okay? Allah is a criminal. Your mouth will not twist if you call him out. My mouth. No, I said it now. I said it too silently. Go say no. I haven't listened to. I go and find Akabant. Oh yeah, he left Koza very publicly now. So, but a lot of these people they would a lot of them actually involve assault, but they think assault ends at physical. They don't realize that bullying people can be termed assault, right? And Nigerians are still delusional. They think if they run your mouth or they shoot your destiny, that you can't hold them accountable. The reality is that you can, because once people's money is being tampered with, they will also blacklist you, right? So let me give you an example, right? Once Elumelu's money is being tampered with and there's too much noise about his conglomerate of corporations on the internet, he will also blacklist you, right? Media is not your mate. So that's why the people need to understand that they have power in the media and they need to use it accordingly whenever anybody is being oppressed, right? If you keep pressure on them, they don't want such negative news around all this money they are making. They will blacklist the corporate. And that's what's happening right now with Naira Marley. Okay? That's happening right now with Yul Edochie. Okay? So back in the days, they have to kind of catch you like this, that you beat somebody else. No, it doesn't have to be anymore. You might not end up in jail, but all that money you are making that's making your head swell, you will lose all of it, because nobody wants to fuck with you anymore. Okay? So the people need to understand the power of the media, especially social media, because everybody has a microphone and a camera. Okay? They need to understand it. Okay? So Sinach left Oyakhilome. So she left? I didn't know that. Well, they have somebody else they're lifting up right now. I saw this one kid the other day that they put a lot of money behind. And I'm like, who is this person? I was like, they're putting a lot of, I forgot his name now. Some guy that's acting like Babalawo but is singing gospel. I haven't seen him since then, because I'm like, what is he singing? I'm not interested. Physical fight moves to spiritual. Now, wow. I'm basically saying that you're absolutely free to call him out as a criminal. Yeah, I think I understood you. Don't mind me. Thank you, Chinye. He's a criminal, right? Yeah, I remember I was saying that. I don't know what you want me to say. He's a criminal. It's obvious. It's everywhere. But I don't have the power to convict him. Yeah, I don't have that power. The authorities will have to do that. So all the people that are asking, please do not convict people on the internet, all those people should rest. The internet does not have that power. Okay? They have that power. The authorities have that power. If they have bad records, they have track record of bad behavior, then it is what it is. It's a different time. We live in a different time. It's going to keep more and more like that. It's 2023. It's going to be 2025. We're not going back to 2015. So if you have bad business practices, you need to start cleaning house, because the media is not your mate. And no, you can't shut down social media, no matter how much you try. Desmond Elliott? Jesus Christ. Anyway, let me get back to some of the story, because I must be on time today. That's what I plan to do. Let's see what else is going on here. Oh Lord. Reno Omokri. You know Reno Omokri. Sometimes he says some things that make sense. Sometimes I'm like, this guy, man, are you a confused person? Reno Omokri posted this picture of Naira Marley. Okay. He didn't post the picture of Mohbad. Now, let me check. Did he post a picture of Mohbad at all? I'm going to check before I say that. Before I say that, I'm going to see if he posted anything at all. Okay, he did. He posted it. He said, I commend Governor Jide Sanwo-Olu 9 hours ago. Okay, good. He posted that. But then he came back and posted what you're looking at on the screen right now. And he said, it is quite possible. Okay. It is quite possible that Naira Marley and his associates are the monsters people are making them out to be. Yes. But and it is also a possibility that some of those making these allegations are using this opportunity to revive their careers and or settle old scores with him. And what are you talking about?
Are you mad?
Okay. He's talking about people like Sam Clef is trying to revive his career. Is Iyabo Ojo trying to revive her career? Is Tony Abraham trying to revive her career? Who exactly is he talking about? What is he talking about? Can somebody help me? Oh Lord. And we do not know. Shout out to you, Glory. I see you, Glory. We do not know. That is why there is going to be an investigation. Okay. We already know that, bros. And pending the outcome of that investigation, let us resist the urge to convict people who may or may not be innocent in the court of social media. Social media cannot convict people. You're trying to say something else, and you need to just come out with your full chest and say it. Let's give the police and law enforcement agencies the benefit of the doubt, and then let us take punitive actions in law and society when we have certainty. Here's what I'm gonna. This is all I'm gonna say about what he has to say.
Everything I do, I will.
That's all I'm gonna say about that. I don't know what Bros is talking about. That's all I'm going to say about Reno Omokri's statements. And he has a picture of Naira Marley, like what do you want us to do with that? You know. Anyway, the other news is that Zinoliski has removed, because there's a radio station that came out and said, let me just play it for you. Here's the radio station right here.
There was an action on Agidigbe.
Yes.
That all the music that belongs to Malians is now declared as NTBB.
Yes.
Not to be broadcast.
Yes. Not to be broadcast.
I know with that, if all other radio stations can do so, I know they will know they have made the wrong step by.
Yes.
So let's remain calm. Let's continue our protest.
Yes.
Until we hear from them.
Yes.
Yesterday.
So that was yesterday.
There was an action on
that radio station somewhere in Agidigbo or whatever he called it. They decided not to play Malian music again. And is that convicting people? Is that what Reno was talking about, convicting people? He said, we'll wait, just stay calm, peaceful protest. But no, we will not enable continuous celebration of those people. Is that convicting people? Is that what Reno Omokri meant by convicting people? I'm wondering.
Sorry.
Dealer said, very good, cancel them. You need to shut the F up if he doesn't have anything sensible to say. Yeah, they're being cancelled everywhere. That's the reality. So after they said that, then somebody took a screenshot. Zinoliski show killer Zinonymous Sounds. He removed Malian music from his bio. Yeah, that's too late right now. He needs to cry out for help. That's what he should be doing right now, because I'm sure it's difficult for him to leave that camp right now. All right, they're probably still getting high as shit, right? So he needs. That's what they need to be doing right now. Not changing names on Instagram. It's a bit too late, you know. Are you aware that the internet stores everything, every version of your website? My website, my main website was created in 2011, I think so. I can literally go back and see every version of the website. Like it's not with me, but there's a place online. I think it's called archive.org. Every version is up there on archive.org. It's too late. He needs to be crying out for help. That's what he needs to be doing. That's what Zeloniski needs to be doing. ID Kabaza has something to say, particularly about Zeloniski. I'm not sure what his relationship with Zeloniski is, but it seems like he has, you know. But let me play this video for ID Kabaza. If you don't know him, he's the super producer who produced Gongwaso Kutu, that nice classic album from back then. He's the one who produced it. He's also the one who is responsible for the talents that you all love so much, Olamide. So let me see what he has to say. Let's go.
I started hearing some other stuff coming from that label, that even some of the things
that they said they bought for the other guy, the house, the cars, were not in that boy's name.
Before Uncle?
Omo, that's of the highest order. How long are we going to be here for? That will be treating other human.
So Zinoliski's house and cars that they bought for him are under Malia Music's name or Naira Marley's name. Before Uncle, right? That's but again, these are very young men. You know, I don't want to drag Zinoliski too much. However, any music under that label will be shut down. They need to be crying out for help. Whatever they need to do to protect themselves to get out, that's what they need to be doing right now. Okay. So Naira Marley thought he could take the Britiko thing down to Nigeria and then take advantage of little boys. I think that's what he got comfortable doing that, and that's what's going on. Okay. He got very, very comfortable, and that's why he's doing that. Okay. This one is saying something. God, Jesus, help me. I wonder what this one has to say. God, help me. Somebody save me. Let me see. All right. Save me. But I have to play it. It's not just my ears that will hear this alone. Let's go.
Like, how you guys doing? You guys are not saying that we are still thinking about mobile. Yes, we are all thinking about mobile, but still, people are posting. I'm posting for you to cheer up. You are getting angry and I'm posting. You are angry and I'm posting. Why are you angry and I'm posting? Is it your post? Is it your post? And what did I post? I posted how are you doing, checking up on all of you. You guys are now getting me angry. Share ya with me, I don't understand. Am I not nice enough to come down and talk to you guys? I don't like this. I don't like this. Are you not human being as well? Aren't you human being as well? Why are you posting on your WhatsApp status? Most of you are posting on your WhatsApp status. I'm seeing your WhatsApp status. I'm angry. What's that? I'm so angry. And I'm angry because I don't even know this. I don't know this boy. I wish I know him. I wish I did, because now I'm hearing so much juice. The guy is so cute. The guy is, a lot of people are saying good things about him. I wish I know him. I don't know him. What do me pay me o say? O ma do me gan. O do me. They want binu pé mi o mo yan kan mi mo mi o ma close to yan yen. Mi o mo. I don't even. Okay. All I did was just call. I now posted this morning just to like, how you guys doing? You guys are not saying that we are still thinking about mobile.
I can't.
I really want to know this person. I want to know him, but do me gone. Do you think I'm happy? Do you think I'm happy? I don't understand. Share that with you. Do you think I'm happy? I'm so angry. Now. Èmi pa ni èwo ni ke gbe wan kan jojojojo me ko ba jojojojo àti Bobrisky n ṣe plan ni mommy daddy ẹ tó kú. Nobody is talking about him. Nobody is saying he did not talk. You are facing me. Kí ló dé kí la gbé kí la jẹ èwo lórí burúkú èwo ló ṣì. Jojo ma ke ma do not even let me angry. You pay me self now. First you say I don dance in song 2-3 times. You tell me rubbish.
Is this nigga wearing a bra right now? Is that what he's wearing?
Please, I'm so angry, yo. Have you seen my comment section? Shame mo for shame mo ṣe yo ko si lọ na ta lo bele ni ma ku gbaju fún ẹ. Ta ló bẹ̀rẹ̀ rẹ́rìn. Shame mo ṣe yo ko si lọ na ta lo bele.
All right, I'm done. I just knew that I didn't want to watch that by myself. That's all. Okay, there's no way I'm going to watch that by myself. Prestige family, everybody must watch that with me. At least in our last small. You don't know him finishing. Listen, that was tank top. That looked like bra to me. I don't know what you're talking about. It might look like somebody's small breast bra, but it looks like bra. But Nigerians are mad. How about that? All right. Our prophets have been talking though. Let's see what this Baba has to say.
Those artists. God has pushed every one of them. You will see what will happen in this nation.
You are going to see what will happen in this nation.
Baba, what will happen?
I sang a song here. I said, themselves. Those boy, the artist, his father is bewitched.
Lobaton, Baba don't collect. Oh, Baba has collect.
God told me.
They're speaking Yoruba, sorry. He's saying the people that killed that singer. He's saying the Holy Spirit will get them all. That's all he's saying, you know. Baba is just Baba wants to bring in his own little 2 cents, you know. Justice for Mohbad, you know. As long as it's all justice for Mohbad, it's all good. It's all good. All right, there's a person here. Shout out to Instablog Nigeria. They are distracting us. The person says they are distracting us from asking the right questions. Naira Marley wasn't in the country the week Mohbad died. An influencer and Naira Marley's bestie, Sandra Benede. You guys know who this person is? Who is this person? Let me read this to you. Let's read this. I do not support bullying. Naira has to answer to that, the bullying. But let's get out of our feelings and ask the real questions. What happened to Mohbad during his last 24 hours? What happened at his last show? Everyone should be questioned. Everyone that was with him during his last 24 hours, and also the hospital that declared him dead. I'm doing this not to support Naira. Do you believe him? Do we care?
Don't care.
Let me continue. I'm doing this not to support Naira, bullying, or whatever, but for we all have to have an open mind and understanding there is more to all these stories. And we're all distracted because we're in pains and hurt. Everyone is hurt. I'm hurt. Are you sure? But we need to focus on the main issue and ask the right questions. Are you a police? Are you the DSS? You all can come for me. That's okay. It's expected. No, we just make content out of you. That's out of your stupidity in particular. But that's okay. You all gonna put fear on people to not say anything. Everyone should be okay to say how they feel and what they know. God bless. No, if you say anything and you lack social intelligence, it's also okay for you to collect now. Yeah, no one can block you from saying whatever you want to say. It's okay. It's okay to say what you want. Just don't be too surprised when you collect too, you know.
This is gone. And I'm pressing it like, you hear that? Press that. It's good.
So I want to support that on. Anyway, we're rounding up. I want to round up right about now. Let me see. But anyway, it's good to see all of the noise that's still been going on. There's one more weary person. When this person was talking last week on Nidu and them show. Okay. If you were I don't know if you guys saw Honest Bunch last week. There's this girl called the Real Mandy Kiss. At the end of it, we're supposed to be like, oh, she's trying to change. She's changed her life, right? This was a girl that came out and she was talking about Oko and Obo and how she went. And then she came out on Honest Bunch and said she was just trying to chase clouds. And they were like, you're still chasing clouds. And stop the cap. Okay, you are exactly who you are. You're still who you are, and we can see through it. You cannot pretend for that long.
Stop the cap.
Right? Let me see if I can. Her name is Mandy Kiss. Do you know who Mandy Kiss is? Let me see if I can find a picture of her online. Nigerian people now they make these people popular, so I can't judge her too far. You know, I cannot judge her too far. But she does skits, and you know, a lot of people follow her because she does Olosho type of skits and that kind of stuff. You know, this young lady right here. Let me make it a little bigger. Okay. But she has something to say. She has something to say. Let me go ahead and show you what she has to say. She said, I regretted the day I tattooed your face on my laps, Naira Marley. Should we let her be? Right? Should we just allow her? What do you guys think? Is she part of the protest now? Is that what she's saying? We should let her breathe, right?
Let be poor. Breathe.
Should we?
Sorry, yo.
Damn, these people, man. I feel you're a big mess. Best day. This was a post she posted before. Best day of her life was June 30. The day I erased your face. Why would you tattoo Naira Marley's face on your leg in the first place? Are you mad? Well, she says she's 23 years old. Is it Gen Z at 23 years old? They really think they have time, don't they? Right?
You doing what?
They think they have time. Gen Z at 22, 23, like, I'm young. I'm just doing me young.
They use your function to play.
Yeah. All of it will hunt you down. The internet don't forget nothing. The internet does not forget anything. Anyway, do me a favor, hit that like button, please. Share, subscribe if you're brand new here. We do this from time to time. We try to catch crews while we're learning some real life lessons. Okay. Let me see. I think Gloria is asking a question. Let me come to the chat one more time real quick. What are your thoughts about Mohbad's dad? Sorry I came in late. I'm not sure if you addressed it already. I meant the dad's behavior after his son. He looks nervous. He looks like he knows something. He looks like he's afraid for his life. It looks like it's going to be very, very messy when all of that is uncovered. If it does get uncovered. Yeah, he looks very nervous. You know, same thing with the young lady that we covered yesterday. Malian Music, First Lady, what's her name again? Karakuchi, something like that. Torikuchi Keche, something like that, right? She looked nervous. These people, they you know, yeah. But the dad specifically looks very nervous. It looks like he's afraid. Chinye said he looks guilty. He knows something. He knows something. He's scared shitless right now. That's what he looks like to me. So, but in addition to that, he seems very, very uneducated. And I don't mean books. I'm talking about Lakai. I'm talking about somebody's numbskull. Forget books. Forget going to school. Okay? Mohbad himself didn't seem like he went to that much school or stayed in school. But it seemed, from everything we've seen, some of the lyrics, even that kid that we said lost his orientation earlier, he's smart. He's trying to say something. That's why he has confidence. He was trying to say something in the English that he doesn't really speak well, right? So I'm not talking about books, forget books. But I'm talking about Mohbad's dad seemed like a numbskull person. Like a person that had no business being the parent of anybody or trying to do a church. He said his son said he would build a church for him. Like, what? What? Church? Bitibao, are you a pastor? Yeah. So I don't know. He just seems like somebody who has no idea. He doesn't know the difference between his left hand from his right hand. And it's just sad, you know, because when they raise kids, they will also raise gullible. They tend to raise street kids, and no matter how smart a street kid is, the systems are designed against them. They are the easiest scapegoats for bad people and government agencies that may need to cover shit up and stuff like that, you know. think mass incarceration. How many kids do you think are stuck in Alagmo in Nigeria and they are peeing and drinking their own pee? Not Alagmo, in Kirikiri. There's no coverage for those kind of things, but there's a lot of kids that are lost. Some of them lost their lives, not accounted for, no records anywhere. Yeah. So there's a lot going on there. I can't tell, but I can tell you one thing I know for a fact is he's very nervous because he knows something, you know. But we'll see. We'll keep trying to do as much coverage as we can. We might just reduce it down to 10-15 minutes of the shows so we can get back to business as usual. Okay, hit that like button, share, subscribe. Gorek says yes, his dad has a lot to say, he's hiding something. At the end of Auntie Yabo's live today while she was at DJ Splash House, the mother seemed like she was complaining to Auntie Yabo. They were whispering, they were still showing them. She seemed like she was complaining that he's not saying everything, that they did this, and Auntie Yabo was trying to tell her that she should just stay calm, that she would tell the rest to the police. But that boy, at some point, you could tell that he's still very passionate about making it out of the hood, right? Which I can't judge him. It's a young man, right? But he, snitches get stitches. So if you're going to snitch, you better know what you're doing, right? If anybody's going to tell and they're still part of that camp in any way, or they've been threatened, they have to be careful. They have to make sure they are well protected. So it's easier said than done, right? So like I said, hit that like button, share, subscribe. Hopefully you've been enlightened, educated. We did 17 minutes overtime today. We try small now, right? I'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.